Another thrilling episode of Character Unlock. I am hosting today. I'm Andrew Brooker. I am very ill. I want to be in bed. Joining me in my suffering today, because he will suffer, because I am, is my good buddy, John Miller. You're right, mate.
I'm alright. How are you going to make me suffer? Because I'm
I don't know,
fine.
but somehow I just kind of announced you as if you were my partner on a game show. That
Meh.
was awful. And if I could be
It,
bothered, I would start the recording all over again and not make it sound like that.
considering the number of times we've restarted episodes in the past, I think it's probably best we just don't bother in future. Unless you full on mong out, then
Which I have been known to do on
yeah,
more than one occasion. But
we'll
yeah,
just.
how are you, mate? You alright?
Yeah, I'm good. I'm good. Just enjoying the news that we've got to go for the rest of the day. I say
Yeah.
enjoying. It's mostly just looking and shaking my head at half of it.
Don't. It's mostly shit that makes me angry. And the thing is, I was quite, when we were talking about this the other day, I was quite ready for a good rant, and then I got really ill, and I'm not going to be able to shout and scream as much as I really want to. But yeah, I mean, I suppose, you know what, let's just dig into it. We've only got a couple of bits of news, but a couple of them are really big. So we'll start with the good news, I suppose, or the interesting news at least, and that's as of today, as it's the day of recording, uh, Xbox, original Xbox, OG Xbox games are now backwards compatible with Xbox One or on Xbox One. And when I say OG Xbox, 13 games from its quite extensive back catalogue are now available to play backwards compatible on Xbox One. Before we have a look at the list of games, mate, what do you reckon, just in general, to OG Xbox games being available on the One?
You know what? When they first announced OG Xbox, and you could hear the cheering from the crowd at that E3 conference, and I was like, "Really, guys? Come on, seriously? You want to play games that are that old?"
It is a really low bar to get a cheer, really, isn't it? Especially at E3 as well.
But it's not just that they've made them backwards compatible. They've given them a little polish, so they're going to run at 1080p at least. So they're not going to be, the basically the what it was in the first place, which was the Xbox original games on the 360, the ones that you could play the disc across on.
Yeah. One of the
But make
games on this list was actually available to play on disc on the 360. At least one that I know of.
uh, I there's definitely another one if the one that you're going to thinking of is different to the one I'm thinking of.
That's a weird fucking
Yeah,
sentence, man.
look, right. The way that you started this off, it's only fair that I have a few slip ups myself.
I don't see this being a successful episode. It's just
It's
going to
you.
be a lot of us being not very good.
That's our best episodes.
Well, yeah, pretty much.
Us not being very good is why people care about us.
I don't think care. They worry, maybe. But yeah, so no, I totally agree. I sat there and when we watched the E3 thing, I rolled my eyes. So it's a great little gimmick, kind of cool, I suppose, if you still own the your OG Xbox games. But I don't think it needed to be announced at E3, and it certainly didn't need a cheer. You know, a little Eurogamer article would have been enough. But I mean, let's have a look at the list. So, I, I've played maybe half of these in my time. So we have Star Wars: Knights of the Old Republic, so original KOTOR.
Yep, brilliant
Uh,
game.
BioWare game.
Yes.
Yeah.
No, wait.
Ooh.
Yeah, that one was the BioWare one. It was the second one was Obsidian.
Okay. Ninja Gaiden Black,
Yep.
which, in fairness, is a fucking amazing game, but we've had Ninja Gaiden remade already. I'm not sure we need an OG Xbox version. Also, has recently been remade, if I remember rightly, as Crimson Skies.
I don't know.
But
I
I mean, I might be wrong there, but I never played Crimson Skies. I was never really a flight sim kind of person.
Not even old timey flight sims.
No, no, not really. My flight sim games tended to be more space flight sim stuff or space dogfighting games.
Yeah,
Uh,
space.
Usually on PC, so I could have a proper meaty joystick on my desk as well. Actually, feel like I was in an afterburner cabinet. I don't know what Fusion Frenzy is.
No, nope, never heard of it before.
Prince of Persia: The Sands of Time.
Pretty, pretty
Which,
good game to have on the list. To
yeah,
be fair.
I'm okay with Prince of Persia. It's a pretty cool game. I think I'd prefer you be not putting money into scrubbing up old Prince of Persia games and maybe give us a new one. But and so I suppose we've got Assassin's Creed Origins, it's almost Prince of Persia.
Yeah.
Psychonauts, which we've had a remake of. Dead to Rights, which is awesome.
Never
Because
played it.
you never
Don't
played
know
Dead
why.
to Rights.
No,
Did you ever play Retribution, which was on the 360?
no, I didn't play that either.
It's crap. Both of them, they're garbage. It's really shit, kind of button mashing combat, plus third person dog. And third person dog is the only reason it's worth playing. Because you get to rip out people's throats as a dog.
All right.
I just.
I just don't know where to go with that one.
Well, there's nowhere to go. That's the thing. But I've played both of them. I don't think I've ever finished either of them, even though I've played them multiple times. They're not good games to play, but there's just something about them that makes me smile when I'm playing them. Everyone's favourite Criterion shooter, Black.
There is a big list of games there, of Criterion shooters, of course. I mean,
Yeah.
where, all those other Criterion shooters are on the list.
I know, right? I don't know what this is, but I want to play it. It's called Grabbed by the Ghoulies. it, it, it just sounds so horrendously shit. I've got to look it up. I should have done my research beforehand, but I didn't, and now I am. It's a fucking Rare game. Grabbed by the Ghoulies is an action-adventure video game developed by Rare and published by Microsoft Studios exclusively for the Xbox. Okay, it's called Grabbed by the Ghoulies. It's made by Rare. I might play that one. Sid Meier's Pirates. You a fan of Sid Meier's Pirates?
Isn't that a sequel to an very old game?
I couldn't tell you. I mean, I genuinely couldn't tell you.
Okay.
It's not something that's ever. I've heard of it. I just never played it. It's just one of those ones that's always been there. I've just never bothered looking into it further than, oh yeah, pirates. Then we get a pretty big one in the list. We get Red Faction 2.
Yeah, Red Faction 2. Still my favourite Red Faction game.
You mean you didn't like Armageddon?
Did anyone like Armageddon?
No.
There we go.
I don't think so. But you might have been the only one.
No, nobody liked anything to do with Red Faction apart from Red Faction 2, which is why it was complete bullshit that that's the one that's actually been made basically non-canon.
Yeah. I mean, I didn't mind Red Faction Guerrilla, but it did get really old really quick.
At the point where you get hold of the nanomite sniper rifle, you can just shoot stuff and it just disintegrates. That's when I got bored.
I didn't finish Red Faction Guerrilla. I don't finish a lot of games. We will come on to that again a little bit later on as well. Blood Rain 2? Where do you stand on the Blood Rain games?
I'll be honest, I've never played a Blood Rain game before. What are Blood Rain games about? I'm guessing a guy with a sword.
It's a chick with a sword.
Okay, even better.
Rain is a chick.
Ah.
Have you not seen the films?
I didn't know there were films.
Don't watch the films.
Okay.
They star Christiana Loken. She plays Terminator in Terminator 3. Or the bad Terminator in Terminator 3.
I was going to say there's multiple Terminators in Terminator 3.
The chick
Most
Terminator.
of them are Arnie.
But they're also made by Uwe Boll, which should tell you all you need to know about Blood Rain the movie.
So, Uwe Boll, probably one of the worst directors of all time, and chick from Terminator, who's also not that great an actress.
Whose basically only claim to fame was she may or may not have been being a lesbian with Michelle Rodriguez at a film premiere once.
Ooh.
Yeah,
Well,
well, yeah.
let's be honest. It's pretty good claim to fame.
Well, yeah. But she got more famous from that photo than she did from being in Blood Rain or Terminator 3. So,
And she was naked in Terminator 3,
she was. She was naked in Blood Rain as well.
and nobody cared.
No, because even Uwe Boll can't. Even nudity can't make Uwe Boll films good. Don't know where I'm going with that.
No, I don't know either.
And then finally, King
King
of
of Fighters.
Fighters Neo Wave. I mean, I know what King of Fighters is. I don't know what King of Fighters Neo Wave is.
It's basically just a King of Fighters game. It's just another one in the.
Well, it's your insight into these games is why we do this, mate. It's fantastic.
I'm just. It's just another King of Fighters game. That's really all it is. It was on PlayStation and Xbox,
Yeah.
but it was I think it was one of those stupid ones where they region locked back in the day of PS2 and Xbox region locking being a
Okay.
thing. I think it was actually region locked and that the PlayStation was only Japan and Europe, and if you were in America, you got the Xbox version.
Ah.
I think it was one of those stupid style region locking where they went, "Oh yeah, we'll release this on consoles, but only if you're in this area. If you're in this area, you can have it on this console. Tough shit if you've got the other one."
Fair enough. So, what do you reckon, mate? Anything on that list that takes your fancy?
I wouldn't mind having another go through Red Faction 2 because it was so fucking hard.
Yeah.
Um, Prince Persia, maybe. Definitely have another go at Black, and I actually own Knights of the Old Republic on digital anyway, so I've actually probably got that to download.
Nice.
So
Very
yeah,
nice.
pretty content with that.
You'll have to let me know how it plays. I currently don't have an Xbox, so.
I wonder if they've made some updates because OG Xbox had different buttons
Yeah.
because it didn't have shoulder buttons and it had black and white button.
Yeah.
So my guess is that they're going to make the oh fuck, which way around was it? Is the white button was the one on the left, so that's going to be LB and the black button will be RB
Yeah.
with a bit if they use logic.
My biggest worry with this Xbox, OG Xbox thing, is did you play? You probably didn't. When they announced the demo, did you play Parappa the Rapper?
No.
Right. So the Parappa the Rapper demo on the PS4.
No, wait. I played Parappa the Rapper on the PS1 on one of those demo discs from a PlayStation magazine.
Right. So you remember what it looked like because
Yep.
this is the thing. It was on a PlayStation 1. You almost certainly played it on a 4:3 television.
Yep.
Yep. So you get your nice on the PS4. You get your nice shiny new high definition remake of Parappa the Rapper, and it's on a 4:3 screen with shit on either side of it to fill in the black bars.
Yep.
And that's what I'm afraid. I'm just me being a pessimist, but I'm pretty sure that's what's going to happen with these OG Xbox games. You're going to get so many of them that they just can't stretch them out well, especially on a 1080 screen or fucking God forbid a 4K TV.
Ooh. Now let's go with when they did that Sega replay on the Xbox 360 that quite a long time ago.
Oh yeah,
Sonic the Hedgehog 2. Now that's a game that was played on the old Mega Drive 2 or Genesis.
yep,
So I played that on the Xbox 360 because I bought it because I saw that it was available to buy for like £3.50, and I was like, "Fuck yeah, Sonic 2, love
yeah,
that game." So I picked that up on my 360, and this was back in the day of the 360
yeah,
for a game that's probably almost as old as I am, and that had blue bars either side of the screen because of the 4:3
yeah.
on it. That game is currently available on Xbox One backwards compatibility for the Xbox 360. I can play Sonic. I can play a Sega Mega Drive game on a 4K TV next month.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the thing is, I understand why it's done. I just I always feel that it's kind of publishers and developers being a little bit disingenuous with their, oh, it's a 1080, we're upscaling to 1080p. No, you're not. It's a 4:3 screen with a fucking wallpaper behind it. Don't be a douchebag.
So at least some of it's 1080p.
No,
Oh man,
nice
just
shiny
imagine
high
the
def uh, cover art behind your
yeah.
4:3 screen.
Just imagine the burning you'll get for playing that game for a long time.
Oh
Because
God.
there's a big old chunk of screen that ain't moving.
Yep. Yep.
Feel sorry for the people who own plasmas.
Yeah, me and all. Don't you own a plasma?
Yep,
Yeah. Good luck with that, buddy.
not for long. Won't be long before that bad boy's going out the window.
Yeah.
It's already damaged enough as it is over time.
Moving house and shit does that.
Yeah. Poor plasmas. I love plasmas so much.
Oh, the blacks are so nice, but they burn out so quick.
The blacks are brilliant. The response time is really nice. It's the perfect TV up until the point when it reaches its end of its life, when there's no point having it anymore, and you probably should have bought an LED TV because it's living for another 15 years.
Yeah.
Or
Yeah.
an OLED. Yeah, OLEDs.
Or what's the QLED?
Yeah, I was going to say OLEDs don't even exist anymore either, do they?
Is it Q? I think it's QLED that Samsung. Oh, I think QLED's just a branding thing. Like you'd only ever be able to buy a Samsung QLED TV, and it means absolutely nothing. But is
Probably
it QLED?
means quality.
Yeah.
Well, it's like the fucking Sharp. Was it Sharp? Sharp Quatron TVs where they decided to add an extra color.
Oh, yeah, you had red, green, blue, and yellow.
Yep.
Because Sulu was advertising them.
Yeah, George Takei.
I'm so glad you said his name so I can remember. It was just Sulu. Sulu. I remember Sulu advertising with the extra color, and I literally sat there thinking, "This is weird. You can't have an Asian man advertising yellow.
You
really
can't say that. For fuck's sake, Brooks. It's okay for everyone to be thinking it, but you can't confirm it.
It was the most racist thing ever. I couldn't believe it was on the fucking television. Oh, for fuck's sake.
But imagine watching that advert on a Quatron TV, because then that
Because he's
sarcastic
extra
moment.
yellow.
I was going to go with the sarcastic time when he talks about that yellow seahorse, and he says, "Look at the great color on this seahorse." Oh, I'm sorry, Wish seahorse. Because you don't have a Quatron TV, so you don't have the yellows of that ad. Fuck you.
Oh, wow. God, this went downhill quicker than it usually does, mate.
We usually get at least halfway through the news. We haven't even made it a fucking third yet. just ruined our entire Asian market.
We have an Asian market. We have a Mongolian market, I suppose.
There we go.
So, I don't know if it's 5 people that have listened to us once or 1 person 5 times, but we do have 5 downloads in Mongolia.
Not anymore, we don't.
Well, we won't get any more, no.
Not after this episode.
Well, then we'll get this one.
Yeah, true. That's enough, I guess.
So we'll get 6.
Maybe we'll have more than 5. Maybe if it is 5 people downloading once each, then maybe the word of mouth spreading. Can't be that many people in Mongolia, right?
So I think there's like 12.
Maybe not. Okay, not that many people with internet.
This is 5. We found them all.
Yay. They chose to listen to us of all things that are available on the internet.
And what do? We be racists.
What do you do, Brooks? What do you fucking do?
I wasn't a racist. I'm not a racist. It's just a joke. It's a joke based on someone else's racism.
The thing is, it's a joke based on Sharp's racism. It's a pretty big fucking company.
I know. And they got away with it.
Yep.
That's the worst bit about it. They got away with it. Fuckers. Oh, God. I'm curious. I want to know who a Sharp, an American company? Please don't tell me they're like Chinese.
Yeah. Maybe then it's just sarcastic, like we're taking it back type situation.
We're taking it back. That's our word, dude.
Exactly.
Oh, fucking hell, I'm going to have to cut out so much of this.
Yep. It's going to be a really short episode due to you being a prick.
Yeah. But I'm always a prick.
Uh,
Wife sitting silently in the corner, just nodding.
yep.
Yes, you are. You're a cunt. I don't know why I married you.
The HQ is in Osaka, Japan.
Wow. I mean, it's getting worse.
Yeah.
How did nobody complain about that?
Probably because it's a Japanese company.
Fucking hell. I think we need to move on, like, sharpish.
Yeah. Nice pun.
I was not planning that one at all, but I will
Yeah.
take it. I don't know. I don't know where to start. Because we've got two other bits of news on our docket, I
No,
suppose.
neither of them are nice.
Well,
Neither of them are
yeah,
particularly good.
no, neither of them are nice. Neither of them are good. The thing is, I reckon I can drag one almost directly into the other.
Okay, so we'll go that way, I guess.
So let's start with EA continuing their monstrous studio serial killing spree
That's a good way to describe it, I guess.
by closing down Visceral Games.
Yep.
Now this came more or less out of nowhere last week. It was absolutely insane. Just suddenly, Visceral Games aren't around anymore. Now, for those that don't know, Visceral Games, excuse me, Visceral Games made Dead Space,
Yep.
or all three Dead Space games. They were originally EA Redwood, I
Yeah, I'm pretty.
believe.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah, I'm pretty sure they are.
Because when they were EA Redwood, they made Dead Space and they made Dante's Inferno, and then they made Dead Space 2 and Dead Space 3. More recently, they made the not particularly well received, even though I really kind of liked it, Battlefield Hardline.
I really like Battlefield Hardline. I thought Battlefield Hardline was a really good single player.
I thought it was great.
Multiplayer was a load of horse shit.
Multiplayer was bollocks, but the worst thing about the multiplayer was the fact that they pulled an EA, not Visceral, but EA pulled Criterion in to help out with it. So car stuff was great, which actually made the car-based multiplayer a fucking great time. But the
Yep.
rest of it was shite. Which is a problem for a Battlefield game. You can't have shit multiplayer in a Battlefield game. But after that, so after Battlefield Hardline, they moved on, and obviously a couple of years ago we saw them briefly announce an untitled Star Wars game, and this looked like a third-person open-world Star Wars story. Quite famously, they got Amy Hennig in to write for it. Now, Amy Hennig used to be the head writer for Naughty Dog, so she'd done Uncharted, and I believe she wrote The Last of Us before she left.
Yep.
But yeah, so that studio gone, which isn't news from EA because EA closed down studios all the time because they're bastards. But what really annoyed me, and I'm gonna get before we get to it, I'm gonna find the little bit of their fucking press release because this is the bit that really fucking annoyed me. Where are you? Where are you? Here we are. It has become clear that to deliver an experience that players will want to come back to and enjoy for a long time to come, we need to pivot the design. We will maintain the stunning visuals, authenticity in the Star Wars universe, and focus on bringing a Star Wars story to life. Now, pivot is a fucking bullshit sales meeting buzzword. I hate shit like that. That shit really winds me up.
Here we go. Pivot. 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 Shut up. Shut up. Shut up.
all I hear is the shit from Friends with Ross trying to move his sofa.
Yep.
But more than that, when I read that the other day and I sent it to you and I was like, this shit makes me so angry. But reading between the lines, it literally says to me, "Hi, we're EA. We saw what Activision and Bungie have done with Destiny and have decided that we want to do that as well." And seeing as we can do that and sell you Star Wars, guess what we're going to do with that big Star Wars story you were looking at?
Oh yeah, yeah. I wouldn't be surprised if we end up with a Star Wars game like that in the future.
This is the
Which is
thing. EA have basically turned around and said, single player isn't the market anymore. With that, it's become clear that it's a different experience that players want to come back to and enjoy for a long time to come. They want to make a Destiny game.
yeah, they want a game that's going to take a long. There's going to be a game that they can have and then just release expansions for the next 3 years, rather than releasing a game every year for 3 years.
Yeah.
Because you can charge full price game for an expansion and re-release the original game
Yep.
for maybe £10 more than you would have done than just the expansion, to give out the expansion plus the original game.
Yeah.
Which is what Destiny did, because you bought Destiny 1 and then you bought the season pass for another 30 quid. And then when second year came round with Taken King, you could buy Destiny 1 and the Taken King for like £10 more than Taken King on its own.
Yeah.
And next year came along and Rise of Iron came out, and you could buy Rise of Iron on its own for like 25 quid, or you could buy the complete collection of Destiny Year 1 expansions, Taken King and Rise of Iron for like 35 quid. Fuck right off, EA, if you want to do that model.
Right. See, I do think there are a couple of issues here, and one of them, my God, I can't wait to get into, because I haven't said much about them like on the podcast, even though they've been around for a while now. But they want to do this to a Star Wars game, so they basically want to turn their Star Wars game into Destiny. They want to have this permanent open world with maybe a story in the background, no single player. What does that say to you as a fan of both Star Wars and BioWare? What does that say to you about their confidence in what BioWare are doing with Anthem?
You know what? I'm actually a little scared, because BioWare were basically strong-armed into Andromeda.
Yep.
And then strong-armed off of Andromeda probably midway through development because of Anthem, thinking, you know what? Anthem's a big project. We need to put a lot of effort into that one. And now I'm thinking it might end up being another game released 3 to 4 months before it's supposed to, just to get it out of the way, so it's released at a time frame so that it's away from another EA title being released later on in the year.
Yep. I actually would be, and I like the studio. I don't necessarily like the games they've put out over the past few years, but I like the studio. I would be quite worried about the future of places like BioWare.
If they can close Visceral down, then they can close down anyone.
Yeah, if they can dick around one of their developers, and Visceral wasn't their biggest developer 10 years ago or 5 years ago, they were a big name. We had Dead Space. They'd just been handed a Battlefield game.
I was going to say 10 years ago they were making like the Simpsons game. So
yeah, but excuse me, I'm going to be doing that a lot. Sorry, but if they can take one of their big developers and dick them around for 5 years and then just decide to close them, I don't think any of EA's studios are safe, apart from maybe DICE. DICE, I do think they are too big for them to close.
Yeah, I don't think they can close DICE, because they've invested too much into Frostbite.
Well, yeah.
DICE could quite literally
their expertise, all their Frostbite expertise is in Sweden or wherever DICE is.
If they dick around with DICE, they're literally going, "Oh yeah, you know that engine we've been using? Yeah, here's the new version of it. It's full of bugs."
Yep.
And then contract themselves back out to fix it.
Yep. And they'd be perfectly within their fucking rights to do so as well.
Yeah.
But yeah,
I'm actually looking through the list of EA Redwood and then Visceral Games titles.
Yeah.
Some of my favorite games of all time are actually on this list, like Future Cop LAPD.
Yeah, Future Cop.
And two of the best Lord of the Rings games, they made them. They made
Really?
Return of the King and The Third Age.
Wow.
Yeah.
Bloody hell. I did not know that.
They also made James Bond's Everything or Nothing, which was the first proper original story James Bond game, not including Agent Under Fire and Nightfire. It's like, because those two were kind of new and original story James Bond games, but Everything or Nothing was literally they making a James Bond film out of a game,
Yeah.
rather than just generic first-person shooter.
Yeah.
Apparently, they also made the Godfather game, which was fucking awful.
It was terrible. It was really fucking shit.
And I said earlier they made the Simpsons game.
Yeah. Bloody hell. But yeah, that's it's Visceral gone.
The Devil's Cartel.
Yeah, Army of Two.
Yeah.
I really liked the Devil's Cartel.
You're like the only person ever saying that.
Dude, it was so crap. But all of the Army of Two games are crap. There are 3 of them. I don't know how the fuck there ended up being 3 of them.
That was the third one?
The Devil's Cartel was number 3.
I thought that was number 2.
No, because the Devil's Army of Two and Army of Two 2.
Oh, the 40th day.
The 40th day, thank you. That was the one with the shit moral choices in it.
Yep.
Whereas the Devil's Cartel was basically just a third-person shooter with the Army of Two name put to it. But all of them, they're all just crap third-person cover shooters. They're not good, but I really enjoyed playing all of them. Like the first one, at one point, you basically parachute into a thing in like a little terrorist base in Afghanistan, and your mate controls the parachute and you shoot people. It's so horrendously balls, but I loved it.
Because you got the awesome style, the rock paper scissors, like to make decisions with the guy you're playing with.
That was really cool.
It's so fucking stupid, but it worked.
And like the aggro system, so you could just fire at someone and then your mate would basically turn invisible.
Yep.
I loved it. Oh man, I forgot Army of Two was a thing.
I really wanted Army of 4.
But yeah, no, Visceral. Someone actually, when I wrote on Twitter, I was like, oh, fucking EA, just want to make Destiny. Someone went, a person that follows me and I follow them was just like, yeah, it's because they couldn't put loot boxes in it, or they want to find a way to put loot boxes in it, so it has to be all multiplayer and loot boxes.
Yeah, but the Visceral Games Star Wars game they've been throwing around for the last God knows how many months, maybe even a year.
That was E3 2016.
Yeah, but that was supposed to be the spiritual successor to 1313.
Yeah.
Which was the first proper edgy Star Wars game. You're looking at the underbelly of Coruscant, the city planet. But it was supposed to be like you're some awesome bounty hunter guy or some shit and you're just trying to make yourself a living. There's no heroes, there's no Skywalker, there's no Obi-Wan Kenobi. It's literally you're just some guy trying to be yourself.
I honestly, I don't think you'll ever get an M-rated or an 18-rated Star Wars game. Like 1313 was supposed to be, and like this one was rumored to be. You won't get a proper grown-up one. You're going to get stuff aimed, at the 12-rated audience.
Well,
because that's what Disney want.
Yeah, 1313 was a thing. It was existing, and its announcement was what 2-3 months before the Disney takeover.
Yeah, well, that was it. Disney took over Lucasfilm and instantly shut it down.
Yeah, because Disney didn't want anything adult. Really, no. They wanted It's like they took over Star Wars, decided to build themselves in the universe and create cute characters.
Yeah. So yeah. But yeah, I don't. I'm not a fan of Star Wars, but I hate that this has happened. I hate that it's happened to Visceral. I hate that another game's been possibly cancelled. Because that's the other one you see. They say, oh, we're pivoting it in a new direction. I reckon it stealthily gets killed sometime just after Christmas.
Yeah, probably.
What's
We'll
EA's
probably.
next big release? Need for Speed. Okay, that might be a bit too close.
Yeah.
But genuinely, I reckon March time. I reckon about March. After that, after the Star Wars film. After the new Star Wars film, so as not to negatively affect the new Star Wars film. Not that anything could. You could have Darth Maul raping babies in the new Star Wars film, and people would still go and watch it because it says fucking Star Wars on it, and people would defend it because it says fucking Star Wars on it. But yeah,
I like how you use Darth Maul because there's currently no confirmation Darth Maul is dead yet.
I mean, I didn't know that. I make it sound like I know what I'm talking about. I really don't. It's Star Wars.
That's why I said it was amusing that you said that, because he's like, as far as you're aware, Darth Maul died in the first one.
Basically, I couldn't remember his name, and I was trying to say the name of the guy from The Last Jedi. By Adam, what's his face?
Oh, you mean Kylo Ren?
Kylo Ren. That's who I
Nothing
actually
like
meant.
Darth Maul.
Well, no,
Got
it's
it.
not. But I have seen all of these films once.
Did you even remember that Darth Maul was actually a character? Did you just throw
Yeah,
the word Darth in front of some random word?
He's the red-faced dude from The Phantom Menace.
Yeah.
Gets cut in half and booted down a chute by
Yep.
Obi-Wan Ewan McGregor.
Yep. Obi-Wan Ewan McGregor, who they had to spend ages re-shooting every time he had a lightsaber in his hand because he kept making the noises.
What a prick. Dear
It's
Lord.
no different when we were playing Dead Rising 3 and you were making the noise of the glove gun when firing the glove gun.
But it went boing. It's the best noise for a gun ever.
Exactly.
Every gun should go boing. Fuck's sake. Right. Last bit of news. Kind of.
Yeah.
This made me unnecessarily angry, mainly because it's a patent from 2015. But the fact that it exists makes me angry.
Yeah.
So the headline on Eurogamer is Activision patents matchmaking system designed to encourage microtransactions. Now, I don't know about you, mate. My feelings on microtransactions tend to change depending on what mood I'm in, and more appropriately, what game I'm playing.
Or the content of the microtransactions about.
Yeah, there's that is a factor in it as well. I don't believe in pay to win. The Battlefront 2 shit, where you would spend money on loot boxes that could give you stuff to give you an actual advantage in combat, I think is bollocks. I think it's an awful way to do anything, and there's a lot. Okay, in my little Twitter echo chamber type section of the internet, there's a lot of back and forth about it. I do kind of side on the bit where it's basically gambling, because you've got no idea what you're going to get. You've got no idea if it's going to be any good to you, and if it's not, well, tough shit. Now you've spent your monies.
That's the reason why you buy in-game currency to buy loot boxes, because that way it's not technically gambling, because you're buying someone else's money in order to then spend on a random chance instead of using real money to buy random chance.
But I also don't agree with things like, okay, I've not played it, so I can only say what I've seen from other people playing it. But I don't agree with things like Shadow of War, which pushes you towards buying loot boxes. But makes it unnecessary. Unnecessarily gimps you, unless you, pushing you to maybe want to buy loot boxes.
Yeah.
I don't agree with any of it. As much as I play it, and I bought a couple myself because I had some spare fun bucks. I don't like loot boxes in Overwatch. I don't like the idea of loot boxes. I think they're a bit shit. At least in games like Overwatch, they are purely cosmetic. And while I don't think that's an excuse, it does make it a little bit easier to swallow.
Yeah.
This thing from Activision is bullshit. So the basic pattern is they've patented a technology that will learn what a player likes and then throw you into a game with another player that has stuff like that they've bought. So you get your ass handed to you by a dude with a gun that you would like, and now you spend money to go and buy that gun because that was clearly what done it. But
Yeah.
basically weaponizing peer pressure.
Weaponized peer pressure is a very, very good analogy.
Yeah, it is fucking disgusting. It's disgusting that someone even thought that we could do this. It's disgusting that someone put together a focus group and an investigatory group to do this and see if it was possible. And it's worse, it's a technology that's now been patented by Activision. People that play Call of Duty, rag on them all you like, and we do a lot. Call of Duty players are easy targets when it comes to having the piss taken out of them. But they spend their 60 quid or whatever every year on their game, and they play it to death. That's what they enjoy doing. That's fine. You don't need to manipulate your player base because your game isn't selling as well as it used to, and you want them to buy your microtransactions. You need to make a better game.
Yeah.
Stop spending money trying to figure out ways of getting money out of people and just build a better game. Listen to what your fans tell you. I know a lot of people were excited for Call of Duty World War II, but I guarantee you that what happened was Battlefield 1 was released, and to almost universal praise, and the guys walked in and went, yeah, you need to reskin that. We're making this World War II now, because that's what everyone wants. Instead of listening to people who have been saying, please bring back World at War for the past 5 years, they didn't listen until Battlefield 1 done it. I'm not saying Battlefield 1 is unique in their position, that they listen to anybody, because of course they didn't. They just know what's going to make them the money. But Call of Duty have then followed suit. And that's always been the way, especially between Call of Duty and Battlefield. Always.
Yeah, the one that does it first usually ends up, being the staple, and then everyone just says, "Oh yeah, they're just copying that."
Yeah.
The thing with World War Two is quite obvious that they didn't go for World War One, because this way people can go, "Oh yeah, no, it's all right. They went for World War Two. They're bringing it back to basics, back to what Call of Duty was at the start."
Boots on the ground.
Boots on the ground.
But I genuinely, I've done it. I buy season passes for my favourite games. I've bought the season pass for every Assassin's Creed game that's ever had one. And to the point where I have on more than one occasion bought the season pass for a game and then not gone back to play the content because it took forever to fucking come out. But I swallow that because I do look at things like that, like I'm supporting the developer. I do understand, I'm not a moron. I understand that games are very expensive to make, and you need to get your money back somehow. And with declining game sales and this whole used game bullshit, I understand you're not being as profitable as you were, but you can't nickel and dime me. It's a bullshit model, and it's going to be the death of video games.
Yeah. Well, I mean, really think about it. Call of Duty is Activision's license to print money.
It is, and it has been for years, but its sales have been going down for quite a few years now.
And the microtransactions and the ability to purchase in-game currency so that you can make your special purchases of your skins or your guns or your upgrades or whatever the fuck it is that you're buying.
Your Uncle Sam costume and your stupid pink smiley face reticle.
Yeah. It's the things like that. So you've got your game that makes you a fortune. You've got your game that makes you a fortune plus the way that it makes you extra money because the person's gone out and spent their 80 quid on their super elite edition. They've burnt through their loot boxes and they go, oh, I didn't get anything good out of those ones, so I'll buy another £30 worth this month, and then maybe, oh, there's a special edition loot box next month which contains extra content, so I'll buy that one a couple of times. Oh,
Yeah.
there's the Christmas reward one, so I'll buy a couple of those ones. You're hitting near like almost £200 one game, one person.
Yeah.
Multiply that out about every other. I'm gonna go outright and say it. Fucking moron that does the exact same thing.
Yeah.
I'm guilty of it with FIFA. I've done it more than once where I've spent an absolute fortune on buying their in-game currency.
How many of us, okay, not for FIFA, but for me, for Madden, we've all spent a fortune on Ultimate Team stuff. All of us.
Yeah.
You know, and that's made EA, microtransactions alone on things like FIFA 17 and Battlefield made EA close to $250 million
Yep.
in 2016, 2017. $250 million in £1.50 transactions.
Yep.
What the fuck are we doing?
Well, I've said this before, and I'll say it again. Especially EA with FIFA, is that for every person who buys a copy of FIFA and doesn't purchase the in-game currency to open packs, there's another dude who's just bought a copy of FIFA and then spent more than 3 times for a copy of FIFA on in-game packs.
Yeah. Every time I play Ultimate Team, and it's a weird thing for my brain to connect, but stick with me. So you open up your packs, and they all sparkle at you. You get little sparkly noises coming out of it. And it just reminds me of like episodes of that old TV show Las Vegas,
Okay.
where they would explain to you that everything would be sparkly and shiny and tingly and dilly to make you feel happy that you'd spent money on opening something that was completely pointless.
Yep.
Set something off in your brain that, this could keep going. And literally, you keep spending fucking money. It is no different to sitting at a slot machine. You just keep ploughing pound coins into because it makes plinky noises at you. Like I said, you said it. I said we're both guilty of it. Season passes, microtransactions. I bought in-game currency for Assassin's Creed games. That costume looks awesome. Oh, and it gives me a buff. It's only $3.99. Fuck it. We've all done it, and so I'm as much a part of the problem, but it doesn't mean that it doesn't give these people license to literally steal from me.
Yeah.
Fucking assholes.
You really think about the amount of money that these companies are making on their in-game currency and all of that. You might as well give the game away for fucking free. You're making more of money out of selling basically your own currency.
Yeah.
That is unique to each game. It's not like you buy the FIFA Fun Bucks and they work on Madden as well, or the other EA titles that also have in-game currency. But if they give the game away for free, because they might as fucking well do,
Yeah.
because they're getting a fortune out of that. But it's not like they're using the extra money that they're making to release that much better games.
No.
It's the return on investment so poor. If you really think you put the money together for the way that games used to be back in the day, they'd get the money from the game sale, and then that was it. That was all the money they would receive was from the game sale, the initial game sale. Not because there's no pre-owned shit.
No.
Get nothing from that. You get the initial game sale, then you release your next game, and it's got a pretty significant improvement.
Yeah.
Or in some cases, the improvement is sometimes even a completely different engine because you've been picked up by a new studio because your first game was pretty fucking good. I mean, the difference between Mass Effect 1 and 2, fucking huge.
Yeah.
No microtransactions, no in-game currency. Mass Effect 1 had 2 bits of DLC, and one of them was shocking.
Yeah.
But 2 came out and was probably my favorite game of all time.
Yeah. I do. You have to realize or not you personally, but you have to be able to see the difference between. I'd say probably like 3 levels. So you got like the nickel and diming microtransactions, your costumes, your ultimate team, your shit like that, loot boxes, that kind of bollocks. Then you've got story DLC. So that's like your Mass Effect missions, your extra missions in Assassin's Creed, shit like that. And then you've got expansions. Dude, I miss expansions so much.
Yeah.
We just don't get expansions in games anymore. I think XCOM 2 had one actually recently. Might have been last week or this week. Had like a £35 expansion, and when I read it, I was like, "Oh fuck, that's a bit much." But then you read the reviews and go, "That's doubled the size of the game." Okay, I can live with that. That's worth spending some money on. But do you know why I stopped playing Madden Ultimate Team?
Because no one else was playing it with you?
There's plenty of people to play Madden Ultimate Team with. It's fucking massive. Obviously, it's not as big as FIFA, but it's pretty fucking big. Now, the problem with Madden Ultimate Team, and obviously FIFA has this problem as well, and it's the second you realise that, oh yeah, this year I spent like £250 on Madden Ultimate Team cards. And I've just bought Madden 18, and none of it has followed me through.
Yeah.
So now I have to spend it all again. No. Fuck you. Just fuck you. I'm not, and I don't play Madden Ultimate Team anymore for that reason, because I know I will spend money on it, and it is a genuine 100% waste of money. I may as well put tobacco in my £5 notes, roll them, and smoke them. I would get much more satisfaction out of it.
Might as well buy candles. That's literally setting fire to money.
Yep.
Same with fireworks.
Yeah, literally buy fireworks. You get the same sparkly shit when you light it. Same plinky noises.
You know what? I actually miss expansions. The last couple of times I've seen the word expansion, it's usually been for Destiny, where it's literally just glorified DLC.
Yeah. Yeah. I can't speak to the expansions on Destiny. They always look big and impressive, but when you see them advertised or hear people talking about them, you included, when you hear people talking about them, they sound impressive. They sound big, and they sound like they might be worth the money. For me, they're not, because I don't play Destiny, but I'm trying to think of the last big expansion I played. Death of the Outsider.
Yep, that's an expansion.
That's the story expansion. It's standalone, and that's kind of what you get now. Is you get a standalone which doesn't need the base game, but it is what I would call an expansion. It's you play as a character from Dishonored 2, and you get to spend 8-10 hours with her, maybe more if you want to do some exploring, and it's cost me £20. £20 I was happy to spend, and all Infamous First Light falls into that category for me as well.
I'm going to say something naughty. Uncharted Lost Legacy is an expansion.
I think it probably is. I think it's probably big enough to call it a full game, but I reckon it was probably... I think it was probably thought, they originally wanted to make it an Uncharted 4 expansion, and it just got away from them a little bit.
Yeah.
It does have that feel about it. It certainly had that feel about it when we were playing it, but again, I'm 4 games away from Lost Legacy. I can't speak with any kind of expertise on it.
Destiny 2 is an expansion to Destiny 1.
That pretty much is, isn't it? So you want to talk about losing an audience?
Yeah. This is me saying it as well. I fucking love Destiny.
But do you see what I mean? It does. It makes me unreasonably angry. Things like this. I've got a bit of an addictive personality myself, so I do fall into these things sometimes. I go, oh, money. Oh, I'm a bit flush. Let's buy some stuff. But there are people that literally don't have control over stuff like that, and I do.
Yeah.
I do think systems like this thing that Active put together, I do think that's taken advantage of them. And it's cuntish. And I really, really wish I'd never read that it was a thing, because it did make me very angry.
The problem is, the biggest issue is that it's a patent filed in 2015, but they've not yet. They've said that no current game has it, and fortunately, the man who's been heckled by Dunny himself, Deej, straight up said that none of the functionality appears in Destiny, which is a good thing, I guess, because there's that much cosmetic shit in Destiny.
Well, the Destiny 2's got its own issues, hasn't it? Because it's got fucking single-use colour packs.
Yeah.
Which is bullshit all on its own.
And fucking emotes, including ones of flipping tables. Imagine that. You get matched with people who can do dances and emotes like make spicy ramen noodles out of neon, or
Can
flip a table,
can
or
you
shoot
dab in
bottles.
Destiny 2,
You can dab in Destiny 1.
but not in Destiny 2?
I don't think so. I haven't come across anyone dabbing yet.
I will never play Destiny 1 again.
Destiny 1, you can do an Apache dance. You can also do the thriller dance. There's a lot of dances in Destiny 1.
Yeah.
Destiny 2, I'm yet to find anything particularly entertaining, apart from the table flip.
Just sounds like Destiny 2, just all over for me.
I'm yet to find anything entertaining in Destiny 2. I'm yet to find a reason to go back to Destiny 2 now that I finished the raid.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's a shame. I do think, but this I think is what this whole like the EA Visceral thing. They just want to make a game that people want to keep going back to and play. They're basically they're doing the whole but EA fucking done it before. EA done their Star Wars MMO,
Oh, yeah,
the
they
Old
did.
Republic.
Old Republic.
They done the Old Republic. What did they want? They wanted to catch the lightning in a bottle that was World of Warcraft, and failed fucking miserably. And they're going to try
Yep.
and do the same thing with Anthem and whatever the Star Wars thing is that Destiny done. Destiny made a fucking fortune being a massive multiplayer online first-person shooter, and that's what they want with Anthem. I don't think they're going to do it. They won't. You have a fan base that plays Destiny and nothing else. You can't move them. You'll move them away for a week, and then once they see the end game, they'll move back to Destiny.
Yeah, because
Exactly.
Destiny will have new content by then, and the game will have been out for over a year,
Yeah,
and will actually have multiple things to play with, whereas Anthem will be still constantly and forever be behind.
but that's how these games and their fan bases and their communities work. And yeah, so these companies resort to nickel and diming us like Activision are trying to do with this stupid fucking patent, and every company is trying to do by chucking loot boxes into everything. You know, I feel really lucky for the most part. I play single player games, which is another reason why I think EA's thing is bollocks. Basically saying that multiplayer games are the way forward and single player games are shit, because I almost exclusively play single player games. But I don't want a game that keeps trying to sell me stuff. You know, have a store, have a little button for a store. Every game has that. That's fine. Don't have a big fucking picture of a loot box on my title screen. Just don't do it.
Yeah.
Douche canoes. I think that's me. All
Yeah.
ranted out, man.
I think we ranted the news out nicely, that one.
I'll tell you what, mate. I've got 2 games to talk about. One of them very briefly. What about you?
I've got Shadow of Mordor. That's it.
Okay. So, sure, I do one, you do one, then I finish off?
Yeah.
Yeah? Cool. So, yeah, so I'll be pretty brief with the first game. So I played, to be honest, I forgot I put this on my rental list, and it turned up on a random Wednesday. What kind of fucking day is a Wednesday to release a game? Yeah, so I got Gran Turismo Sport for PS4. Did you play GT Sport when it was at Eurogamer this year? I can't remember.
I didn't play it this year. I played it last year because it was the Eurogamer last year. I think GT Sport was the Eurogamer last year. Has there been any other GT games since the last one?
Don't think so.
All I know is I didn't bother playing it again this time around because I saw the queue and it wasn't moving because people weren't getting up.
I had to go at it in the VR section at Eurogamer,
Yeah.
which was fun, apart from the fact that it had all the assists up on high. So basically, I could have let go of the steering wheel, just put my foot on the accelerator, and just looked around, and the game would have driven itself. That hasn't changed in not VR.
Okay.
So I installed the game, and thankfully, because the last Gran Turismo game I played, I believe it was 5. Last Gran Turismo game I played had the worst menu ever.
Okay.
Like, you literally couldn't see what you were doing. No idea what the fuck was going on. It was the worst menu I've used ever. Not just in games, ever.
Right.
This one, obviously, thankfully, is much better. You're gifted a nice, shiny Civic Type R, and you
Wow.
get to stare at the shininess for a bit. And do you remember when Forza done the whole go around the car and open the door and all that shit?
Forza Vista.
Forza Vista, that's what it was, because it was built for Connect, wasn't it? So you'd kind of go around and you'd open the door yourself, and I can look around the car, and it's bollocks. But basically, it's the same thing with GT Sports. You get lots of nice snapshots at this car, and it goes around the car, and you can see all the light shining off the very clean paintwork, and it's quite clearly meant for those of us. I don't, but those people that have got PlayStation 4 Pros and 80-inch 4K TVs, and so pretty. But for me, it was just I couldn't skip it, and it was annoying me.
Yeah.
Once I finally got to, so I thought, I'll give this a bash. I've got a couple of spare hours. Let's just see what it does. So he says, we recommend you do the licenses. I was like, well, I fucking remember Gran Turismo. Every Gran Turismo game has licenses. Let's do the driving school. So I click into the driving school, and next minute there's this massive grid of things you have to clear. And there must be 30 or 40 things you're expected to get through. I was like, okay, this is going to be quick. No worries. Click on the first one. No word of a lie, it took 5 minutes to load into it. And all you had to do was drive in a straight line for 12 seconds. 5 minutes. I was like, no, just no. I'm not fucking doing that. Let's just do some arcade racing. Bollocks. I'm just going to... Let's just do some racing. If the racing's good, I'll go back and do the driving school. I'll keep it for a bit longer, and I'll see. Stuck an arcade race on, chose my little BMW, went for a drive. On intermediate, I think they called it. So you had easy, normal, and hard setting. So easy was all the assists on. Hard is all the assists off. Intermediate, somewhere in the middle. Somewhere in the middle is perfect for me. You've seen me playing driving games, and we've spoken a lot about driving games. They're not my bag.
No.
So a little bit of assistance I'm okay with, because I'm not the greatest at driving games, and I freely admit that. So a little help from the AI would be great. What I don't need is someone basically sitting next to me with their foot on the brake the entire time. I was losing my shit. Every time I got to a corner and it broke, no! I was like, okay, we're at the corner now, let go of the brake, let me go. So I ended up whacking it on hard just so I could, drive. At which point I drove off the road into a sand trap, into a wall, and lost the race. Because I'm no fucking good at driving games.
Nope.
And that happened several times on several different races. Now, I don't know if you agree with me, and I'm curious as to what you think. I didn't really have this problem with Forza Horizon. I do kind of have this problem with Forza Motorsport. And most Need for Speeds I don't have this problem with. But sim races, when you first play, you feel like you're going really slow.
Yep. Yeah, I know that.
The accelerometer on your screen, it tells you you're doing 143 miles an hour. But it feels like if you look to the left, you will definitely see an old lady with a shopping trolley going past you. I don't feel like I'm racing. And that's a problem in a racing game. It's a problem for me anyway. I do get that I need to spend a bit more time and unlock some cars, but in the arcade you get like a list of maybe 8 cars, give or take. That's the first car I chose was a BMW, because I thought, well, every BMW in every game I've ever played is fantastic to drive. It's good for dickheads who can't play driving games like me. They're great.
Yep. Yeah.
So I won, and I got my little trophy to say I'd won, and that was great. But it felt slow, so I moved up, and there was some AMG thing that looked like it was skimming the tarmac, and looked like even the slightest hint at a pothole and the entire bodywork would crumple kind of flat. Really nice looking car. And I thought, this is going to feel fast, and it didn't.
No.
It didn't feel fast at all. and it didn't, and it couldn't corner.
No, that's just any Mercedes in general.
Yeah, true. But I had, I don't know, 4 or 5 races. I'd done a rally one with an Evo. I'd done all right. I came second. There's only 2 of us. I came second. Yeah, I racing games still not my thing. Apparently, I don't get it. I don't get the love for it. I don't get the love for racing sims. I just don't. But yeah, GT Sport is just a racing sim. So if that's your thing, you might like it. If you prefer arcadey stuff, I just want another Burnout.
I think we all. I think that there is definitely a market for another Burnout game, and there has been for another Burnout game for God fucking knows how long.
I
I
do
don't.
honestly think that New Need for Speed is going to fill a nice little gap for me, but I don't think it's going to be great. I still want, I still want Most Wanted. No, no, not Most Wanted. Hot Pursuit.
Yeah,
The
Need for
Hot,
Speed Hot Pursuit.
the Hot Pursuit remake is one of my favourite Need for Speed games of recent years, and I want more of that. But yeah, that was GT Sport. I was a bit disappointed. It's been sent back to Boomerang. Nah, I wasn't expecting much. I got about everything I was expecting, but somehow still ended up disappointed. What about you, mate? What you've been playing?
Personally, I've been playing. Now, I can't. Is it a Lord of the Rings actually in the title? But
No, it's Middle Earth.
yeah, Shadow of Mordor.
Yeah.
Now, this is a game that I 100% wanted to play when it was released because it looked right up my street. I do like the Lord of the Rings franchise. I think the whole idea behind, you know, medieval style, you're fighting against other species essentially.
Yeah.
It's an interesting story behind the whole lot of it, and the games usually turn out to be quite fun. So Shadow of Mordor, I loved the idea of it. I like the idea that you're some dude with crazy mystical powers for some reason back when it was first advertised to me in a hack and slash.
Yeah.
Shadow of Mordor is exactly what I wanted in the game that it was. It was basically, chap at work described it to me when we were watching a gameplay trailer of it. So when I mentioned I had it, because I was looking forward to playing it with the sequel coming out, it's basically Assassin's Creed in Middle Earth.
Yep. That was pretty much the feeling of everybody that played it, that had played an Assassin's Creed game. Was it's the most Assassin's Creed game ever.
Yeah, it's exactly what I wanted the game to be, and right from the start, it was fucking hard.
Yeah.
I've never gone into a game where the learning curve right at the start is here is a 30-foot brick wall. Go climb it. You've got no equipment whatsoever.
You've got an 11-foot ladder. Yeah.
So I literally right at the start it goes. You need to do this. Here's the power. This is what you can do with it, and then now go play the game. So I thought, cool. I'll go play the game. I'll do a little exploring. Walk along. I see a dude on the floor walking along with his buddy, and I'm like, cool, 2 enemies to kill right at the start. I jump down, and icon comes up at the bottom. Immune to stealth. Okay. What the fuck?
Yeah.
And then, all of a sudden, he's a named enemy. And then what turned out to be the guy walking next to him? He's a named enemy.
Yeah.
And then suddenly, I'm in the middle of this fight doing counters after counter because every time I do anything, I'm getting attacked. All of a sudden, here comes another named enemy.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what the fuck's going on? And then there's like, he blows a fucking trumpet, and there's 50 fucking other guys out of fucking nowhere.
Yeah.
Absolutely surrounded.
I remember
Right
all
at
of
the
this.
start. I was literally playing it for 5 minutes. It's like I got killed because going into last chance. Got out of it the first time. Second time, no fucking chance.
No.
There's no point calling it last chance. No fucking chance.
No.
And I was like, shit, this is fucking hard. I don't know if I can keep playing this. But I persevered through. And that dude killed me another 6 times before I killed him the first time. He became my nemesis by the end of the game.
Yeah.
You know, the very end of the game, he was my nemesis because every time I killed him, especially at the start, he would come back alive because something else would have killed me in the time it has taken for me to kill him and then to move on in the story enough
Yeah.
that he stays dead.
Yeah. And
Bec-
now, Colossal the Douche is going to be your nemesis when you finally plug in Shadow of War.
yeah, this dude's got a bag for a face now. He's got
Awesome,
like
he's Jason.
he's literally got no skin left because the number of times that I've killed him because I made it my personal mission to make sure he fucking suffered. Every time I got a new power, he felt it. But
Yeah.
it's just he became my it was just a random it wasn't even a named one of the named enemies to start with. He was just some fucking random fatty.
Yeah.
Some random fat orc that got lucky and killed me right at the start, became a named enemy, and stayed with me the rest of the fucking game.
Because you get that kind of weird chessboard thing, don't you, where you watch them go up the food chain
Yeah.
basically every time they kill you.
Yep. Or every time you die and they aren't dead.
Yeah.
Because the number of times when I died at the start due to Carabor.
Yeah.
Fucking
Oh, yes.
Carabors. Every time. Every time. Because you don't unlock the ability to, you know, catch them like
No.
Pokemon until you're at least gone well halfway. So I was every fucking time I went near Caragor, I was like, oh, for fuck's sake, really? Gotta deal with this shit. Go send me a fucking Graug, at least I can run away from those.
Yeah, I think I still haven't finished Shadow of Mordor. I think I bought it when it came out and played it for a little while, and I could never get out of the Assassin's Creed mindset, especially when I was in Strongholds.
Yeah, strongholds are a weird one because you can't complete them. You don't complete them.
No.
They just exist. You go in there, you've got your big bad enemies in there with their named, and there's occasionally a war chief or whatever the fuck.
Yeah.
And it shows you it's a stronghold, and it goes, here's a couple of icons, there's stuff to find here and stuff to do. And you do all of that, and you clear it all through, and you look at it going, it's still an enemy stronghold. What
Yeah.
the fuck?
Yeah.
What do I have to do to complete the stronghold? I googled it. I was like, I've done everything in the stronghold. What the fuck? Why is it not mine? Why is this not a safe haven for me?
Yeah.
Why am I still constantly under attack? Because you don't win them. You don't take them over. You just kill everything and then you leave and you go back and you kill everything again.
Yep.
In some cases, you don't even kill everything and leave. You kill everything, you turn around, and the enemy you killed like 5 minutes ago is just respawned next to his buddy, just sitting there.
Yep. Yeah, see, I could never get out of the Assassin's Creed mindset where I would sneak around the entire place, taking out orcs, wiping the place out from corner to corner, getting myself to a big old war chief and not being able to kill him because I haven't upgraded the right power or he's immune to dying.
You know what? I definitely had at least one that was basically immune to dying.
Yeah. And the problem I had was, and it's kind of, it's not the game. I don't think there's anything wrong with the game at all. I think the game is great. It's just the way I play. And I kept trying to do it and kept failing miserably. So I was like, well, you know what? Fuck you. I'm going to go play something else. And I never went back. It's more of an issue with the fact that there are too many games and not enough time for me to play them all. So when I just go, bollocks, I've had enough of you, the game gets put away and never touched again. See Agents of Mayhem.
Yep.
Or Gran Turismo Sport.
Yep.
But I'm dying to get back onto it, and I really want to play that, and I really want to play Shadow of War as well.
Yeah, I think my favorite, my most challenging of the enemies that I've come across has this for his list of strengths: immune to ranged,
Okay.
immune to stealth, immune to combos,
Okay.
and monster hunter. So Karagor, Graugs, and Ghouls, pretty much he kills them instantly.
How the fuck do you kill him? Set him on fire.
Yeah, pretty much. The only way I managed to kill him was branding a fuck ton of enemies and just let them fight him for me.
Fair enough.
It's the only thing I could do because I couldn't sneak up from him behind because he was immune to it.
Yeah.
I could or jump off of something, try and stab him, and I couldn't shoot him from a distance with range. And it's like, it's like as soon as you swing the sword 3 times and hit it, as soon as you hit him the 4th time, the 5th swing when you go into your combo to actually do a combo move, he blocks it immediately.
Fucking hell.
Instant block.
Yeah. See, I really want to play it, but stuff like that, I can see me just getting really frustrated.
So he was a fucking bastard. So it's just constant. It's like as soon as and he had another one. It was like commands a group.
Yeah.
So it's like he just had a constant enemies just coming. It wasn't until I had to step away from him. I just couldn't beat him at all. There's nothing. I had nothing to take him on with.
Yeah.
And then I came back with the brand and the combat brand. Once I had combat brand, that thing changed my life. It stopped being get 5 hits and kill something. It became get 5 hits and there I've got an ally. 5 hits there I've got an ally. 5.
Nice.
When you get to the end and you do one of the almost final missions, you have to. It's an escort. You have to carry someone basically through an orc stronghold. You have to carry someone.
Yeah.
So while you're carrying them, you can't swing. So you put them down and then you start fighting. Well, you have your brand at this point. So what you do is you get yourself a group of branded enemies and you carry this person through to the end. And then you just realize, well, hang on a sec. I can brand enemies. I'm just going to hold down the B button, brand everything that I come across.
Yeah.
When I got to the end of that mission, I had an army of like 30 enemies, of 30 orcs just walking.
Fucking hell.
At this point, it's like I was walking into sections. It was like there was like 5 enemies in front of me. It was supposed to be a tough section. There's like 5 enemies. You're only supposed to have like a couple of branded enemies, and you're supposed to put the person down and keep fighting. No. At this point, there was like a 30-strong orc army. There was like 6 people walk around the corner. I was like, well, you guys are fucked.
Awesome.
It was the same in the very end of the game when you go up against your nemesis and his, named captains that had just happened to be at the end game because they kind of just have that at the end game where you fight your nemesis before the final baddie.
Okay.
It literally became that for me. It was I had the brand at this point, so I was just branding everything.
Yeah.
It did not last very long. Just everything at that point. It was just like it was a proper fuck you to the end of the game. It was like, I'm fed up of this shit killing me, so fuck you, I'm making them kill you for me.
Outstanding. So it's worth sticking with them, worth finishing.
It was worth me buying it and sending back the game to Boomerang.
Okay.
I actually own it now.
Fair enough.
One thing that's probably worth mentioning that I saw on a little advertising thing in the bottom left-hand corner that games do now, where they just like fling through a couple of adverts saying, October 10th, Shadow of War comes out, and this is the last expansion, and do this mission.
Yeah.
One of the things that it says is your save from Shadow of Mordor will not carry over to Shadow of Mordor Game of the Year edition.
Oh.
So if you have the Game of the Year edition, which is the only one is now on sale, any progress that you have does not carry forward through to it. It's like it's like a separate game completely.
Yeah.
Now, if that's the case, what about moving on to Shadow of War? Do they have separate ones for Shadow of Mordor and GOTY edition? Or in my case, when I picked the case up from Boomerang where they just had Shadow of Mordor and then someone had literally written on the front of it saying GOTY pen, their handwriting was so bad I thought it said Gary.
It's Gary's copy of Shadow of Mordor.
I was like looking at it going, who's Gary? Why have I got Shadow of... Why is some guy called Gary just written his name on a game case? and sent it back to Boomerang.
I'm going to do that with the next game I send back.
Or just
Just Brooks.
no, because people think they're just giving away condoms.
Yeah, true. Yeah, so I might give. We're in silly season. I'm not picking up Shadow of War. I haven't got time. I've got other games that I'm dying to play. So once Shadow of War goes on sale, I might
Yeah.
pick it up and double build the pair of them.
Or wait for a couple of expansions, or at least or some more content at least, because although if it's the current expansion state, which I think is all single player stuff that's like the Assassin's Creed style DLC, where it's you play outside of the main story to do it.
Yeah.
Because if that's the case, then it's probably not really worth waiting for the DLC.
No.
Because any single player game where you get single player expansion stuff, usually wait for the expansion stuff to come around, then you've got extra levels and extra content and extra weapons and extra cool stuff that makes the single player game, the original game, a lot easier.
Yeah. Yeah, I'll wait for maybe a Game of the Year edition or something.
Yeah, could be worth it.
Yeah. But yeah, so I've got the Game of the Year edition of Shadow of Mordor.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'll wait for the Game of the Year of Shadow of War as well. Maybe, double build a pair of them.
Yeah, probably worth it. In the meantime, I might swing on a couple of the DLC expansions just to see what's up with that.
Yeah.
I think there's one where you play as Celebrimbor.
Okay.
In the second area from Shadow of Mordor.
Yeah.
So it's an expansion, but it's just a small section of expansion rather than being the whole map. It's just the what's the second area called?
Don't ask me. It's been years since I played.
Adun, I think. I think Adun's the second area.
Yeah. Cool. Are you searching for it?
No, I can't be bothered to open up Chrome again.
Fair
I'll
enough.
let you talk us to the end based on your love of South Park.
Okay, so yeah, so my last game was South Park: The Fractured But Whole. Okay. I mean, so before we kind of talk about this, there is a 22 and a bit minute video of me playing The Fractured But Whole on YouTube, on our YouTube channel. It's the second of our kind of voiceover chat quick play videos. And basically, if you want to see what Fractured But Whole is like, just watch that video. It doesn't change at all. But for those that haven't seen the video, those that won't watch the video, those that just kind of want to know, the Fractured But Whole is an RPG game with turn-based combat based in South Park universe. You play the new kid. You are the same new kid that you were playing as in the Stick of Truth, and this time instead of playing, so the basic premise of these games is you're a kid, you're playing with the other kids in South Park, who are just they're playing a game. So basically, in the first one, they were playing Lord of the Rings, and they needed to get a Stick of Truth, and that you played that game. So, you're in South Park, but you're wearing a stupid medieval outfit, and suddenly it's Lord of the Rings. This time, it's the same concept, but instead of the kids all playing Lord of the Rings, they're all playing superheroes, and you are now a superhero. Ish. And you have to save a missing cat. But everything from the first one is back. So the silly comedy, you basically walk from area to area. You do a little mission. You walk into someone's house. Someone says, "Oh, please find, please find my cat." Or you walk into the church and beat up, paedophilic priests, and there's fetch quests, and it is an RPG. There's no two ways about it. But what makes it unique's a strong word, but what makes it worth playing, I suppose, for me, is that it's South Park. And while I'm not a particularly big South Park fan, it has a level of comedy that sits very well with me. I am an overgrown man-child, and fart jokes work on me a lot. But
Yeah.
the problem I've got with South Park Fractured But Whole is it doesn't do anything different from the first game. All the jokes are still the same. All the you can see jokes. I mean, if you've watched more than 4 episodes of South Park, you can pretty much tell what's about to be said anyway, because you get a feel for what's happening. It's South Park. It's usually going to be thinly veiled racism, or taking the piss out of mentally challenged people, or stuff like that. It's South Park 101. But the thing with the Fractured But Whole is I kind of wanted a bit more. So the combat in the first one is, but like I say, it's turn-based. It's you shoot fire out your butt at someone, and someone throws a beer bottle at you, and it goes on until someone dies. This is exactly the same, except instead of just going backwards and forwards, you kind of work in a 3D space. So you can go up and down, backwards and forwards, and you can move before before you do any kind of combat. Which, from what I gather, I don't play a lot of RPGs, but from what I gather, is a pretty basic turn-based RPG thing. Pretty much my only field of reference for stuff like this is XCOM and Mario plus Rabbids. So, I'm not an authority at all. But you can move slightly closer, so you can be a bit tactical, and you can choose what move you're going to do, depending on what's in front of you. It's fun combat, but it wears thin when you start doing special moves and super moves and things. And I mentioned this on the video. The problem it has, it's really funny the first 3 times you summon a fireball and then swallow it and then fire at the people in front of you and kill them. But the 15 seconds that it takes for that animation to go on, the first couple of times it's funny, but after that, you need a skip button. Because I got ambushed, in air quotes, ambushed. I was walking down the street on the way to a mission, and a couple of 10th graders jumped out at me, and now I'm in combat. And, well, I don't fucking want this. I want to go on and do my mission. Don't make me sit and watch the stupid animations for the summons, because it's getting on my tits. It's a bit like, did you ever play the PS1 Final Fantasy games?
Tactics and stuff like that.
I mean, Final Fantasy VII is pretty much my main frame of reference for Final Fantasy.
Oh, okay.
But like, you'd walk around the world in Final Fantasy VII, and there'd be nothing on the screen. And all of a sudden you're in combat because you walked where there was something there.
Yeah.
But the fuck off, I just wanted to get over there, and now I'm going to spend the next 5 minutes doing this stupid fucking battle. Imagine that, and that kind of, oh, for fuck's sake, really, again? But then having to watch the same fart joke for the 40th time. It wears on your nerves after a little while. And I'm not saying it's a bad thing, because the best thing about South Park: The Fractured But Whole is that it doesn't do anything different to the first. It was hugely successful and hugely popular, and very, very fun because of what it brought to the table. So of course they were going to bring more of that to the table for the sequel. I couldn't get on with it. No, I couldn't get on with it. It's unfair. I couldn't be bothered to see it through because I knew all the jokes that were coming. And granted, it's possible that I've missed some actual genuine comedy gold, because if I hadn't finished The Stick of Truth, I would have missed some actual genuine comedy gold. But I'm willing to risk missing that so I can send the rental back, because I can't be bothered. I would recommend playing The Stick of Truth, though. It's worth playing just for Nazi zombies.
Aren't most games with Nazi zombies worth playing just for that?
Well, yeah,
Is-
but it's South Park with Nazi zombies.
Yeah.
It's very good. But it's more South Park. So I would say, if you haven't played the Stick of Truth yet, go play it. If you really like it, you'll probably like the Fractured But Whole. If yeah, if you get to the end of the Stick of Truth and go, yeah, it was alright. It finished at just about the right point though. Don't bother with the Fractured But Whole because it will carry on dragging those same jokes, kicking and screaming, trying to make you laugh, and sadly, for the most part, not being quite as successful as the first one was. Good game, just yeah. Maybe when again it's got a season pass and lots of extra stuff. So when we get a Game of the Year edition, maybe I'll pick it up cheap and finish it. Yeah, that's it. I think, mate.
All right. I
But
think the only input I have for the Fractured But Whole is that I was chatting to Lee while he was playing it, and he said he got into a fight with Morgan Freeman.
I haven't had a fight with Morgan Freeman. I have met Morgan Freeman. He owns Morgan's Tacos
Nice.
or Morgan's Burritos. Morgan's
Uh,
something Mexican.
yep.
Uh,
And he picked ninjas to be his kryptonite, or whatever the fuck, or something.
yeah, I
Like,
picked old ladies.
I think he picked ninjas because he thought ninjas would be less common. Turned out ninjas to be the hardest one, just in general. And then to pick them as your weakness is probably the worst possible choice.
Well, that'll fucking teach him, won't it?
Yep.
I hope he enjoyed it because I know he spent a lot of money on that special edition. I hope he
Yeah.
liked it.
I hope he likes it too.
I did. It's not shit. This is the thing. I don't hate it. Not in the slightest. I know I'm being really negative about it, but the time I spent with it, I really liked. I just wanted a little bit more, and maybe again, once we're out of silly season, and I'm not feeling like I need to hurry up and finish this because Assassin's Creed is coming in 2 days. You know, maybe then I'll pick it up and play, and maybe I'll get a bit more enjoyment out of it. There's nothing wrong with it. There's just I wanted a little bit more. But yeah, I don't think I have anything else to say about the Fractured But Whole.
Okay.
Is that us?
Yeah, I'd say so.
Cool. Have you got a recommendation this week?
Oh shit! It was one of those games that's on Games with Gold. I've actually forgotten what it was called now.
Well, okay.
For fuck's sake! So I closed down all of my tabs without realizing I actually needed to keep one open because I knew I'd end up forgetting the fucking name of the title. It's not my fault. My internet is this shit for some reason right now. It's when I need it to be at its best, it decides to be its worst.
Is that because you have
gonna
Netflix
kick-
on in the background?
Possibly. I'm gonna kick myself when I realise what the fucking game is.
What was on Games for Gold this month?
Fucking Medal of Honor Airborne. For fuck's sake.
Yeah, man. Medal of Honor is awesome.
Yeah. It's still up for like another 2 days, I guess, actually.
Nice.
What are next month's titles?
Have we been told next month's titles yet?
Must have been.
Not Googling at all. I tried to hide it, but this keyboard's so loud.
Yep.
November, isn't it? It will be. Oh, excuse me. November 2017.
Because I think we're getting a OG Xbox title as well.
Games of Gold, November 2017 update as new Xbox One bonus news is revealed. Oh, fuck off, just
Just tell me what the fucking titles are.
Oh, got stupid fucking adverts. I keep scrolling the page down as I'm going. No, that's this month. Just, oh fuck you. I'm not googling that anymore.
Wow, I've got an Xbox Design Lab advert.
I don't know.
This one was updated 6 hours ago. It doesn't actually tell me what the titles were.
Well, I'll tell you what then. My recommendation, because actually it's perfect considering what I've just said. There is now a free demo on Xbox One and PS4 for the Fractured But Whole.
Ooh.
So, I've not played the demo. I don't know what part of the game it is. Saying that, I have recorded video of me doing the lap dance minigame from the EGX demo. And that's all it is, like just the 2 minutes of the lap dance minigame. I'm not going to do anything with it outside of maybe tweet it out, but it did make me smile, so I recorded it. But yeah, I don't know what the demo is or whereabouts in the game it is, but almost certainly you'll play the demo and know instantly whether or not you want to play the Fractured Butthole. So that would be my recommendation.
I'm pretty sure Fortnite has a free at the moment. I think there's something free about Fortnite at the moment, but I don't know what it is.
I do admit I'm only kind of playing the stuff that goes into my, comes from my letterbox at the moment, just because I'm so tight on time. I'm Friday, or to the day the podcast comes out, is both Assassin's Creed and Wolfenstein. I don't know how I'm going to find time to play both. I probably won't. Wolfenstein will probably sit there gathering dust for a few days while I play Assassin's Creed, because that's absolutely that's my big one for this year. Yeah, silly season, mate. It's a fucking pain in the ass.
No announcement yet for Games with Gold.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
That's fine.
You know what's the worst part is?
It'll
By
be
the
tomorrow.
by the time this episode goes live, it'll have been announced, because it's around about now that it usually comes. So it's usually between the 24th and 27th of the month we get next month's stuff.
Yeah, it usually depends on the month as well, because they update on a Tuesday, don't they? No, they update on the 1st. That's next Wednesday. So yeah,
Yep.
Guaranteed. By the time this podcast has come out, we'll know what the fucking games are.
And we'll look like complete and utter mongs.
Well, we do anyway.
More so than usual.
Yeah, I say we usually do anyway, so this is I'm not too fussed about looking like a complete numpty. Yeah, I think that's us all done, mate. So until next episode, where can people find you, buddy?
You can find me on Twitter as thejohn_cu, and on Xbox Live as Long Dong Silver.
You can find me at Twitter. I am at Brooker411. And you can find us as a podcast, as a whole, as a team. Right, so where are we? We're on Xbox, and we're on Twitter, and we're on Xbox? We're on Instagram.
We are on Xbox.
We are on Xbox and PlayStation, but we've done nothing with those accounts yet. They're just there.
They exist, just so no one else can have them.
Yeah, pretty much.
We're like every big corporation ever now. Just buying it just in case so no one else can.
Absolutely. Microtransactions incoming, motherfuckers.
We should do microtransactions.
Yeah. Pay us £2.99 and get an extra racial joke. So we're on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. We're at Character Unlock. We also have a YouTube account with videos going up semi-regular.
Semi.
Fuck off. I am supposed to be the child here, not you. Fucking hell. I'm done. No, just I'm gone. That's it. It's over. Come back next week and look at our videos on YouTube. Fucking bellend. Say goodbye, John.
Goodbye, John.
Dickhead.